Welcome everybody, and welcome to my game dev blog for Grab the Nuts. This is my first entry to the TriJam Game Jam. This is a weekly event where you have to make something playable in just 3 hours. This week's theme for number 155 was make a game in 1 minute. Last week's theme was empty world. However, my attempt did not go so well. There was just too many balls. More information about TriJam can be found at their page trijam.itch.io, and more information about my games can be found at stealthness.itch.io, links in the description below. So starting off with just a simple square, my idea was quite simple, is that I would have the square representing a hamster who would aim to run around and fill his little pouch of a mouth with as many peanuts as he could. So by starting with the square, I then initially got on with basics of moving the character around. However, I did have to take some time to figure out why he continually gets stuck in the corners. But once solved, I moved on to create the peanuts, and eventually the start of the game started to take shape. So now I started to work on some little things by adding some text information to keep a track on both the time and also the score. Initially, this would be just a running down counter, although I did notice that I hadn't actually formally stopped the game as yet. I also added a small animation of the hamster's pouch getting larger. This gave some indication of the game, although it did break a little of the abstract aesthetics. I was pleased enough with how it came out. If I had more time, I would have loved to have also made it possible so that you would see the hamster go pointing to the correct size and also turning around and possibly seeing his little tail wiggle a bit. But these were things that I could not do within the 3 hours, and I still have a lot to learn on Unity, especially in the realm of animation. As the 3 hours became closer, I needed to just fill out some other small things that were necessary to make sure that the game looked as smooth as possible. So I kept a very, very simple menu. In it starts with a brief instructions of what to do, and also contains a high score when the game ends and just a simple restart. By now I was finishing up the game, and then I decided to add one final little feature, a little munch sound when the hamster ran over a peanut. What should have been a relatively simple thing to do turned out to cause me great problems, far longer than the 3 hours of the TriJam Jam should do. But this is because I'm still learning and I'm still getting used to how Unity actually likes things to be done. At this point, I then uploaded it onto itch.io to check how the game would run in the webGL environment. Two issues became apparent. The first was that the resolution size of putting the game into high definition was not good. The game would run over the boundaries of the visible playing area. This was easily fixed by reducing the resolution to 800 by 600. The second issue was an issue with the speed of the game. In my development, it would run reasonably fast and okay, but when I uploaded it to the webGL on itch.io, it would run really slowly. So I had to adjust the numbers, but as I was also testing the game, I had to be aware of the way that the game would play differently when uploaded to webGL. Having fixed those two issues, the last part of the development was to fix the overall pace of the game. The idea was that the hamster should slowly slow down as it eats more peanuts, to the point where you should be just almost at a crawl just before the timer runs out. And obviously the main aim of the game is to get a high score as high as possible. And to achieve this, I had to use some guesswork on the numbers rather than using any data drawn from the game. In analysis of my game, there are several areas which can be improved, and I've already taken steps to improve some of these, and there should be an update within 1 to 2 weeks. The first of these updates have changed the way in which the peanut both looks and also works. Previously I was creating and destroying the object each time it was eaten. Now they are created at the beginning and given to a pool, and each time they are eaten they're deactivated and then set to a new random position and reactivated. Another area which I would like to improve is to add a super peanut that would allow a small speed burst for the hamster to move. The other area which I would probably like to look at maybe is also adding some jeopardy around that would either slow down or stun the hamster, small traps and alike. And the final area in which I can improve the game, and something that I am still learning, is animation. Currently the animation that I have is very basic. Thank you for watching my video. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. Please go and play the game at itch.io/stealthness.